talk, because I'm just going to cut probably whatever I want to right now.
There
are no rules. There are no rules in this podcast because right now we literally don't know what we're going to talk about. This is Gone with the Wind. Cue the music. Hey everybody, welcome to Gone with the Wind, the show about award shows where we talk about, you guessed it, award shows. Here with me is Ryan.
Hey guys.
And that's it. It's
just
the two of us.
We're just, yeah.
I was about to say, what were you about to say, Ryan?
I was like, we're both just, lazing through tiredly.
Yes. We literally talked, about just 30 minutes before, just talking.
Yeah.
About life, movies, all that good stuff. Liberty. How Letterboxd shouldn't, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
You know what? Give me liberty or give me death, or I'll take sleep too. Actually, I'm tired. I'm both tired. But regardless, this is going to be a really chill episode, mainly because there's not a lot to talk about. Because right now, as we're recording, BAFTA has not happened. It's happening at a really awkward time Sunday morning. WJ is also happening tomorrow, and then from there, we're going to mosey on to the Oscars. We're going to do something next week because the Oscars are in a little over a week.
Yep.
That's unfathomable.
They are fast approaching.
I know, which is both like, it's a good thing, that we're always on our toes, but the bad thing because everything feels so crammed together. But we've probably gone off on rants before about how this is a bad idea from them changing anything in the first place.
Yeah.
So next year, though, we're moving away from that, right? I can't remember.
Supposedly, yeah, we're going back to the
March
regular calendar because they're realizing that this didn't work.
No, it was a fun experiment. Now let's try it on. You went into your college days and you tried something different. At 92 years old, you were like, let me go to college and let's try some things different. And then they got out after 1 year of college and I'm like, not for me.
Maybe it'll be good for 2020 films. As we move on, maybe we'll start to care more about the spring films of 2020 because we won't still be talking about all of the films from 2019. But I don't know. It's hard to say.
I was never opposed to the February. I was opposed to the fact that was the only thing that shifted. The rest of the calendar didn't. So we had movies that literally were coming out in January make their appearance, 1917. I'm talking to you. I'm looking at you over here. Mm-hmm. Who were still not seen by the general public, which I think if you're going to make that the new date, shift everything from the December and sprinkle them in throughout the year. Or at least, not just in December and November and January. Maybe throw in
1917 made BAFTA box office. So maybe
I know. So
maybe this is the lesson.
It did. Actually, how much did it make? Ryan, can you fact check that for us?
I can. Just give me one hot second here.
You're doing multiple things. I apologize.
I'm not doing multiple things, but I just didn't have a website up. Let's just search it this way. That'll make it easier. 1917 has domestically made $112,396,389. Just
domestically, okay.
Yes, right. Internationally, it has made another $98,400,000 for a worldwide total of $210,796,389.
Oh wow, you gave me the exact number. All right, so right now its budget, it looks like it's between 90 to 100 million, is what I'm looking at. So right now that's actually really a lot more expensive than I.
That was a lot more expensive than I was expecting you to say.
I know. Why?
But, hey, a non-Christopher Nolan heavy war movie making over $200 million is not bad.
No. They did a great job of marketing this movie, I'll say. The fact, even though it came out later, that it kind of it caught the zeitgeist at the right time. Yeah. And I think we're going to get into... Oh, go ahead.
Dunkirk made about $527 million, which, is probably an anomaly. So there aren't many of that kind of movie that I think can draw that box office.
No, but that's the name of that's what the name of Nolan can do.
Yeah. So I mean, if 1917 is coming out at 210, really the domestic box offices between the two are not that far apart. Really, it's mostly international.
Yeah, because somehow this one didn't translate internationally. I don't know what its full stretch was, but
yeah, where hasn't it been released? It looks like it's been released everywhere.
Oh, okay. Just didn't probably catch on.
Yeah,
as Dunkirk did. Interesting. But
I mean,
now,
it's out in all the countries that are important.
Yeah.
Like,
so
box office wise.
Yeah, because China. That's
it didn't come out in China.
It didn't. Well, I guess they don't release every movie. I know that American movie.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it was like Lunar New Year, which is like a whole it's like a whole week off in China. It's like a big thing.
Oh, didn't know that actually. I'm learning something new in the podcast today. I'm learning new things. But yeah, just as also to reiterate again, I mentioned this in the opening. The BAFTAs have not happened yet. They will have already happened by the time this episode airs, and me editing and all that stuff. But when we're recording this, it has not happened. So by this time, we were probably living in a world where 1917 has won it, both director and best film, because I don't know what else wins it.
Yeah, I mean, it's distinctly possible that 1917 wins. Although I don't know,
it's not. I can tell you, it's probably not going to be Joker, right?
Yeah, probably.
And The Irishman's probably is probably almost dead at this point.
Yeah.
And if Parasite pulls it out, that's what I'm going to be fascinated by, because BAFTA, no offense to BAFTA, but I feel like Parasite would be the last place BAFTA would be the last place Parasite would win Best Picture. And I think if it wins here, I think that means there is some real power into what the guilds actually feel like is worthy, or they feel like there's some credence to Parasite outside of just foreign language film.
Yes. Yeah, BAFTA. I mean, BAFTA definitely strong odds for 1917.
I was about to say, I'm sure Gold Derby has those odds somewhere.
I think that's where the safe money is right now. Not the uncut gems money, but the safe.
Nope. Well, actually, hey, speaking of that, you finally finished it.
I did.
And what did you think?
It's amazing. As I sort of knew from seeing the beginning and the end. Like, I sort of knew this movie was really good, but it was good to see the middle to kind of know all what happened. And yeah, I mean, it's a really excellent movie and deserves a lot more attention than it's getting.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because it came out and then it went, at least here where I am in the States, because you got to watch it on Netflix, right?
I did, yes. So I woke up this morning. It was on Netflix. It came on Netflix yesterday, and I just kind of clicked it and watched it, and I was like, oh, cool. Cool.
Did you now the question is, did you watch the entire thing again, or just watch the middle part you missed?
So I watched not the entire thing, but more than just the middle part.
Okay. But you kind of pieced, I'm sure once some scenes you knew you skipped, and you're like, okay, I've seen this.
Yeah, no. So I started the movie. I skipped ahead to the last scene that I distinctly remember. And then I wound up being no, I actually saw a little bit more than I thought I saw before. So
okay.
There were a few scenes came up after that I was like, oh, I'd already seen this. So then I watched the middle, and then I did watch it till it finished. I did finish the movie again.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was about to say, because that feels like that'd be emotionally fulfilling, being able to watch the entire thing instead of stopping.
Well, I mean, but once you're through the middle, I was just I know how this ends, and I just really want to see it carry to that end. And because the end is very stressful, and there's something about watching that movie and getting that feeling of stress that really kind of pumps you up.
Oh, that sounds.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. That's the biggest. That's still my biggest. Like, not my what's the word? I have to again mentally prepare myself because I'll be in a theater if I see. Actually, no, I might have missed it completely. I need to go check other theaters around here because I have Regal Unlimited, so I can anything that's Regal, go in there, watch what I need to. But I'll need to go ahead and double check before I go. Before I think it's gone. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to wait till it comes out on Prime or Amazon Video so I can rent it. I should say, because do they have the rights to it to go on to Netflix once it finishes its theatrical run for America at least?
I don't think so. So Netflix bought the international distribution rights for it, but it's an A24 film, so it's a. So it'll be wherever. I thought A24 has a rights deal with Amazon in the US, don't they? Isn't that where all the A24 films go? Like a few months after they come out.
I'm
on Prime.
Not all of them, because wasn't Lighthouse A24?
Yeah, like I haven't lived in the US for a few years, so I don't know if this has changed. But I remember when I was in law school and living in Boston, they had, like, I remember Amazon, like it wasn't immediate, like the immediate new releases weren't there yet, but then it was like a little bit after they hit Prime Video.
That might be the case, because right now I know the Lighthouse isn't available at the time of us recording, but I know Moonlight, stuff like Moonlight is. Yeah. So,
but whereas Netflix, like they have whatchamacallit, they have almost every A24 movie on Netflix in Canada. Because, well, I mean, like not the super new releases, Uncut Gems accepted, but like they, just like they did with Amazon when I was living in the US, it's always like, you know, whatever, a 6-month delay after the video release. But in any case, this was a weird release, especially for us, because Canada's not normally packaged with international distribution.
I know. That's what I was very much like, well, you guys got a little taste of it.
It's very strange.
Do you prefer it, or do you rather go see it in the theater? Which I guess you did.
I kind of did, but
kind of.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Like, I mean, I like going to the movie theater, and it's a good relaxation for me. But like, being able to sometimes turn on movies, like a brand new movie that I actually want to see on Netflix, is fulfilling. I
would imagine that'd be the case.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want BAFTA odds?
For the let's go for it, because it'll mean nothing but by tomorrow. But at the same time, I'm curious. Let's do it.
So in the Best Picture race, 1917 is indeed the leader at 31-10 odds, followed by Parasite at 4-1.
Okay.
Followed by Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at 4-1.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, now, so let's pretend we live in a world where 1917 has won. So if this has already happened, good for us. But we're living in a world right now where 1917 has not only won that, but actually look at director for a second for me if you can, if you have that near you at all.
Yep, it's the next one in the list.
Let me know what that is, because I think that's going to be really interesting, at least these two together this year.
So this gives the odds as being a lot closer than the odds for film.
Okay.
Not that the film odds are like super far apart, obviously, but the director odds are 31-10 for Sam Mendes and 39-10 for Bong Joon-ho, which Sam Mendes is the odds favorite, but like not by a huge margin.
So right now, let's say we live in a world where 1917 has won the BAFTA. It's already won the PGA. It's won the DGA. It's won the Golden Globe. Yeah. It has won everything it's needed to. Let's say it wins both director and picture. At this point, do we go ahead and engrave its Oscar?
I don't know that we engrave its Oscar, but it's the odds-on favorite. If you wanted to put money on Best Picture, it would be your best bet. And I think I think even if it loses BAFTA, it's still your best bet.
Which then I was going to add to the fact, if we have, because right now Parasite's number 2, which I think that's a fair assessment, because that SAG win was telling. If Parasite comes in and wins BAFTA for best film, And then let's still say Sam Mendes wins for director, but let's say that BAFTA goes with picture for Parasite. If that occurs, we still have 1917 as the one because they don't do preferential ballot, right?
Right.
So, do we get a split this year?
It's possible.
I mean, you want a fun stat?
Yes.
Are you sure you want a fun stat?
I always want a fun stat. Hit me
That's
with
the
stat.
Spirit. Okay, so this decade, in the 9 films we've had, the 10 years we've had, not including this year, as we've not had a winner yet, but in the 9 years that we have had, out of those 9 years, the winners have correlated with the best picture for director, director and picture have correlated 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Only 4 times.
Yeah.
And the rest have been, for 5 times, they have not correlated.
Mm-hmm.
So we are either going to have 6 and 4, or we're going to have 5 and 5 for breaking of that. And I think if we go back, there is not a single decade where that break has been more evident. And I think that's something that has to be done. So that's something that has to do with the preferential ballot.
Yeah.
Mostly. Not solely, but
or
that's a great factor.
I mean, it's certainly, I think, a factor, but like, I also kind of think that like people just think of directing and picture different. Like, I know directors don't, but like, I think everybody else does.
Because we look back last year, Roma took home Best Picture, Roma took home Best Director, Green Book took home Best Picture.
Yeah.
Now, again, people might have qualms with Green Book taking Best Picture. We know that to be the case. But Roma is the stronger directed film. That's very much, everyone can agree with that.
Self-evident.
Exactly. So perhaps nowadays people are a lot more
even nominated for Best Director.
Nope.
I was like, wait a minute, it wasn't even nominated.
So there was literally no way it was going to lose, unless they gave it to Spike Lee, which is like the outside shot. Just because he was Spike Lee, which wouldn't have been bad either, but you know. So I'm looking at all these years where the directing. Okay, this is what Best Director has done so far. For 2010, The King's Speech, Tom Hooper, which we should probably rescind now after Cats.
We're gonna take away your award retroactively, and we're gonna give it to, who would you give it to?
Out of those, the 5 that we have right there, David Fincher probably.
Yeah, I think I would give it to Darren Aronofsky for Black Swan.
That's a great pick.
I think that would be my pick.
That's a great. Hey, that is a great pick. Listen, and we all know I've been a staunch defender of Tom Hooper, but until he makes another movie that's on the level of King's Speech, in my mind, he's in the corner right now. Listen, yeah. But and then you go. So that year that the King's Speech won, that was a straight 10, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then the next year was a straight 10. And then we went to, because I know for 2 years we had a straight 10.
No, the next 2011 was not a straight 10 because I believe 2009 was the first straight 10.
Aha! So we had 2 years, and then 2011 was that one. So
just pull it up. I'll get the Best Pictures up.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a straight 10 in 2009, and straight 10 in 2010. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in 2011. So, yeah. So
by looking at that right now, that even makes if we're just going into the fact the decade with preferential ballot, that's one less correlation between the two. So there's definitely a lot more. I think it's a factor, multiple factor. I think multiple factors include. People are just more aware of directing.
But in the 2 years that we had a straight 10, both of those movies won Best Picture.
Yes. So
this is sort of a recent,
recent trend.
because like in 2011, The Artist wins, and The Artist somehow wins for Best Director as well.
Which I'll give people that. I don't know how that was the case. Like I love The Artist, but I don't know. Directing that year wasn't as strong.
Alexander Payne is right there. He's right there for you.
I don't care for The Descendants that much, but that's me. And then I don't care for Hugo that much.
It's a weird lineup, I admit.
It's not the best lineup of the decade, we'll say.
No,
it's not a bad lineup.
2011 is definitely the worst year.
Yeah, actually,
of the last decade. There's not like The Descendants is really good, and then I think everything else is kind of like okay or bad, as the case may be.
I was about to say, like, yeah, I might say throw The Artist. Actually, I really like Midnight in Paris though. So, and I'm not a Woody Allen fan. That movie was like special. I don't know why to me.
And then 2012 was like the year that they just couldn't decide what they liked the best.
Well, that was the big, like, Ben Affleck's not even nominated for director. What do we do?
Yeah. And
that was the Argo year.
Yeah.
So
year where the best film does not win.
No, definitely. Me and you can agree on that, evidently.
And then 2013 Split.
Which I think, okay, now this is to me the best use of the Split. Mostly because I think both of these two are utterly excellent films. And this is also a nail-biter of a race. 12 Years a Slave, Best Picture winner. Gravity for Cuarón, winner of the Best Director. Because I know that Cuarón won BAFTA for director and picture. Yeah. So,
I mean, like,
he kind of swept.
I still have yet to see Gravity, but
oh yeah, you haven't, have you?
But of these 5 directors, as much as I love 12 Years a Slave, I would have picked Scorsese for The Wolf of Wall Street. But
okay, that's a great. Again, I'm not a fan of Scorsese, but The Wolf of Wall Street's very, very good.
Yeah, I think you had 3 good choices in this director race.
Yeah, we're getting better. We're getting a lot better.
2 years. So, 2014 was a little all over the place. Actually, I don't know how Inarritu won that one. I really thought Linklater was going to win.
Because you're looking at it from a technical standpoint. If you look back at some of these films, Gravity was the technical achievement. Even Life of Pi was quote unquote the technical achievement of the year.
I mean, it was, but
well, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really was technically from 2012, right?
Yeah. Well, what would you have given it to?
I mean, with this lineup that we currently have, I'm cool with director going to Life of Pi for Ang Lee, just from like what are you able to do. I would have given it to Lincoln because I love Lincoln. I love Lincoln.
Me too. I would have 100% given it to Spielberg. Like, what is going on here?
But Life of Pi is like one of those words. I get it. It's the technical achievement of the year, and that's kind of where I see Best Director has gone to recently. Like, let's go to the year. Let's skip Birdman, Boyhood, because Boyhood. First off, would you consider Boyhood the more technical achievement outside of Birdman?
They're both like very technical movies.
Exactly, in different ways.
Movies that rely on like a lot of technique. But I think like Boyhood requires more vision than Birdman did.
12 years of vision. Right there.
Like, it required a lot more commitment.
It did. Like the actors had to sign like how long of a contract? It was probably. That was crazy. So yeah, no, I guess that's the one year where, although the debate could be had, because you said so yourself, they're both very technically driven films. And if you look over to that's
both Inarritu's Oscars, right?
Yes.
Like, both Birdman and The Revenant are technical marvels.
Yes. And that's the point where I was like, that's the year where people were like, oh, The Revenant had this in the bag. He was kind of sweeping everything in director. And then Spotlight came in one picture after winning screenplay, and that's it. That was a crazy year.
Thanks, Spotlight.
I mean, listen, hey, I love Spotlight, so I'm all for that. I
love both these movies, so I'm really not like, I'm not a hater on the 2015 choices, but...
And then you move over to the big 2016. You have Chazelle and Jenkins with La La Land and Moonlight fiasco, which that'll go down in history in just general history.
Well, since 2013, it's been the Three Amigos and Damien Chazelle. So Those are the only people who have won Best Director Oscars.
I mean, hey,
2013.
it's really crazy. Let's play the game that if Bong Joon-ho wins this will be this will be the first year since 2013 that we're not going to have one of those people win. So. I was also about to say this is probably the year also where we've had the least white men win Best Director. I'm like, wow, that statistic though.
Well, I mean, I guess people dispute whether. Anyways, we don't have to get into that. But
wait, get into what? I'm curious. It's my podcast.
Sometimes, like, I've heard dispute whether you're supposed to count the Three Amigos as minorities or not. And
wait, what?
I think you are. But
now I'm genuinely interested at that discussion about where that came from.
They're all Mexican, right?
I was about to say they're all Mexican. They're not from Spain.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I feel like people just
they were literally all born in Mexico City.
Like, people don't count them for some reason. I don't know why, but they don't.
Interesting. So for those who are watching and may have an answer, please post in the comments as to why that could be the case, because educate us, because I genuinely did not perceive that to be the case.
Yeah. I mean, and again, I can't explain it. It's just something that I've heard in the,
Oh, and correction. Del Toro was not born in Mexico City. He was born in where Abe.
Oh. Guillermo del Toro. Let's find out. Guillermo was born in Guadalajara.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. Why can I not say words that are not?
Well, with Spanish, if you spend a little bit of time learning the Spanish alphabet, you'll be able to say pretty much everything in Spanish.
Probably.
Everything is everything is phonetically sounded in Spanish, which is really nice.
Oh.
So, like, as long as you know what the sounds they make, because they make the same sound every time.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. That sounds really nice.
Right?
So Guadalajara,
before some like Spanish speaking person corrects me, yes, I understand in different dialects. Sometimes the letters make different sounds, but as a general rule in your beautiful language, they make the same sound.
I was about to say, isn't that also the same case in like English? You have different dialects wherever you go, depending on where you are.
But still, the word banana makes no sense. Because you say
banana?
you say the letter A 3 different ways in the same word.
Whoa! Hold up! I never thought about this until you just banana. Should be banana. Wait. Wow! Why are we spending time on this? Banana. Can I have a banana?
Which is what it is in Spanish.
Banana. I like Spanish. I like the language. What is with the English language? Look, can I tell you?
It was crafted by a very weird history.
I believe that.
That is mostly what English's problem is that we've had just such a weird history.
Anyway, tangent aside.
Yeah. That language lesson.
Listen, that has been your couple minutes to note with Ryan McKenna and Manning Franks as he is being educated. The educating Manning, or the education of Manning Franks. I don't know, one of those. So as we were going along, La La Land, the more technical film than Moonlight. Not saying Moonlight is not beautifully directed. It's just from a technical standpoint. Having a musical that's been, I guess, that good in a while, and probably one of the better ones out there. And spoiler alert, it might probably appear in my top 10 of the decade. We'll see. Which we'll do at a later date once we have everybody here. But that'll hopefully come later in a little bit once Abe finishes up some stuff he has to do. And then once the Oscars actually wrap up, then we'll be doing best of 2019 and then best of the decade at a later date. So keep an eye out for those.
That's going to be a thing.
Trust me, I've already started to make that list, and I've already had to kill some of my darlings.
It's so hard.
It is. It's very difficult. I'm curious to hear what all of you guys think as well too for best of the decade, because that's a discussion that's kind of going to be a bit more narrowed, and it's not going to be the best of all time, which we cut a couple of decades from that list. Actually, we cut we're cutting over a century of film, so that's going to help us out a little bit. But yeah, so Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro won 2017. Only one probably I would have given it to might have been Nolan for Dunkirk, but I'm also happy for Del Toro. Good for him.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
but...
I know your feelings on this. You
well, yeah, and I think in retrospect, like I don't know what Dunkirk had to do. Like now that like seeing 1917 get all the love that it's getting is like actually made me more sour about Dunkirk, because like while Dunkirk came out in I think a better year. Like I think 2017 was a better year than.
Yeah, it's a great year.
But at the same time, I'm just like I don't know what does Christopher Nolan have to do to get an Oscar, first of all? And secondly, like what did Dunkirk have to do better? Like I just don't understand.
I think this
is Ryan's complaint moment.
I mean, no, please. No, I think it would have had to come out like not in August or July. Yeah. When did it come out?
Yeah, it came out in July. But that's when Nolan movies come out. Like
that, you're right.
I don't know. Like that's when Tenet is coming out this year. So
he's not playing by the Academy's rules. He's in his own boat.
Yeah, shooting on.
He needed for it to come out like this year when they move it up a couple months.
Oh, that was big in the movie news sphere.
The deal.
The major studios renewed their deal with Kodak to keep film alive.
So good for these studios. I have never filmed on film before in my short career in film in college because it's very expensive. So yeah. I'm glad that the principle and the practice of film is being presented. I would like it if it was made more accessible in some places for universities, i.e. some, not AFI.
Do you know anybody that uses those like little, like, because I know that Kodak was coming out with some new Super 8 camera.
To my knowledge, not yet. I don't know anyone who has used it yet.
Okay. Yeah, that is so far away from my world that I just don't. I'm totally ignorant. And
it's okay. I am ignorant too in a lot of things. Foreign languages.
Although it would be weird to shoot what you shoot for your job on film.
On film?
That would be weird.
I don't think we could. Or we could, actually, because we used to do tape back in the day and the people who work at my news station will tell me, back in my day when we had the tape, it was a lot harder than this. And I'm like, I'm sure it was there, Jim. I'm sure it was.
Jim.
As no one is, my work is named Jim. I just picked something out there.
That's such a newsy name.
I know, and there's no one named Jim, actually.
And back to Jim.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Back to you, Jim.
Back to Jim at the desk.
Jimothy, hello. Okay, so anyway, we are going on a lot of beautiful tangents today. And then
that's what this news light episode.
Literally, you're not kidding. And then Quaron wins for Roma. So now that we're back to square one, we did that little journey. But the point I am attempting to make is if we're looking on sheer technical level, on paper, Sam Mendes should win. On paper.
Sure.
If we're looking at the technical aspect, most of these films have a technical edge to them where they're like, wow, this did this. If you look at The Revenant, look at the technical aspect they had to do. All this incredible lighting that they had to accomplish. Oh, wow, look at this direction for La La Land, what they managed to do with Chazelle. And I think that the conversation has been around 1917's direction more than it has Bong Joon-ho's direction of Parasite. I feel like that's been more revolving around the picture, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's probably right. I still don't know that they're going to give Best Picture to a foreign language film. Like,
not yet, anyway.
I'm not saying the Academy is racist, but like, I just don't think the Academy cares. enough. Like they're going to give Parasite its foreign language film award, and then I think they're going to tut it pretty much everywhere else.
Well, listen. I don't know. It won editing at the Eddies.
It did.
So
I just think that the Oscars are going to tut it. I mean,
we'll see what BAFTA does, though. It's the big thing. But knowing BAFTA, they're going with Le Mans '66.
Le Mans, yes,
which is a better title than Ford v Ferrari. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I love the Ford v Ferrari title.
But Le Mans '66 sounds so much better than Ford v Ferrari.
No one's gonna go see Le Mans '66 in America.
No, I mean, you're right, but at the same time, it's so much more fun
Ford
to say.
Versus Ferrari.
It sounds like a boxing match, But yeah, no, okay, so then you bring up a good point then over here. If they're not going to give it to a foreign language film, do you think they will ever give it to a foreign language film in the future? I mean, of course they're going to in some time, but do you think we're closer to that time than not?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll take it.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I think that we're closer to that time than not, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Not this year, at least.
Yeah, well, I just don't think it's going to happen at any recent time.
I mean, the last year was the first year that a foreign language film got director. Right? I'm not incorrect in that saying that, correct? I'm pretty sure that's never happened before.
The last 2 years in a row. No. Hold on. I have the list here, actually. Non-English language nominees and winners of Best Director. We had 2018, which went to Paweł Pawlikowski. Nominee. Cuarón won. Yeah, none of these other people won. You're right. That'd be the first time.
Okay, so I was right. I wanted to double check that.
The winners are in bold and nominees are not in bold. So.
Okay.
But they're on the list.
So by that proxy, it's the barrier in that sense is broken to where I think the Academy at large are watching a lot more foreign language films than they once were. Because I know there was a time period where you look back at the 70s in particular, there was a lot of foreign language films.
Did you nominated? That there have only been 6 Black directors ever nominated for Best Director?
Really?
Yes.
And 2 of those are Jordan Peele and Spike Lee.
5 of them since 2009. And 1 in the entire period of history before then.
That's kind of sad, actually. Wow. Listen, I never once think the Academy is doing it deliberately. Never. It's not my stance, and I will say that. But it's more interesting in the sense of wow, that's where that is where the industry has been for this amount of time. Wow.
I mean, but it's also and it's not just them. There have been 5 Asian directors, which, okay, and the only Asian director to ever win Best Director is Ang Lee, who's
twice. I'm about to say he's won twice. But both films were they were not foreign language films. They were films in the English language as well too.
But Akira Kurosawa nominated 1 time for Best Director. Once.
Which one was that again?
He was nominated for Ran, which
I had not seen that one actually.
It's a good movie, but not Seven Samurai.
I was about to say
it just doesn't make sense.
It's not Yojimbo or Seven Samurai at all, or interesting.
I don't know. And there have been 5 Latin American directors, but they have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Oscars.
Most of them have been in the 2010s. So.
Yes. Well, they only had 1 before 2003, and then they've had 4 since then. But
wait, since 2003?
Yeah.
Who won?
So they didn't win in 2003, but they had a nomination for Fernando Meirelles for City of God in 2003.
Oh.
And then Iñárritu has been nominated 3 times, Cuarón twice, and Del Toro once.
Interesting. Okay.
Iñárritu 2 of 3, Cuarón 2 of 2, and Del Toro 1 of 1. So
we are learning all these Oscar facts today.
Right.
I love facts. I love facts.
5 female directors, only 1 winner.
Well, we're getting better at that. Although that was more of like, you know, an industry thing in general than an Oscar thing. We're getting better at that, everybody.
I mean, as we've talked about, like the Oscars are the end of the road.
Yes,
Like,
agreed. They are if there is a problem, it's usually indicative of not the establishment, but those that work within it.
mm-hmm.
Anyway. We're getting political.
Look at this show.
We have gone off the rails. This is why, you know, this is Malcolm and Abe will keep us in line. But that's in retrospect, what we're trying to say is director Sam Mendes seems to have
probably going to win.
Is probably going to win Best Director. That being said, if Bong Joon-ho wins BAFTA in either category, well, actually, no. I think if Sam Mendes wins Director in BAFTA, it's like a done deal. He should just get the Oscar at this point. However, I don't know why the odds. Do you see that Bong Joon-ho winning Parasite while 1917 could only win Picture out of those two?
I could see that.
Is the split. Do you see that more than happening than the other way around?
No.
So you see the possibility
of Parasite winning Picture more than Director.
I agree with that. But do you think there's going to be if there's a split? Now, also, we're not even talking about Tarantino, who's like right on the edge over here.
Yeah, I think there's a decent chance that he just wins, and that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has a night. But
you think he wins both?
Yeah, no, I think if that's going to happen, he's going to win both. I think.
So then let's go to this idea. When has Tarantino ever won a BAFTA? Because that'll give us.
I don't want the Quebec Values Charter. I want Quentin Tarantino accolades and awards. Quentin Tarantino list of awards and nominations. BAFTA awards. BAFTA, he has been nominated. Okay, so at the BAFTA awards, he has not won Best Film. This is the first time he's ever been nominated for Best Film, which is a crime.
That's actually shocking.
For Best Director, he has been nominated 4 times for Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Basterds, Django Unchained, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
So he's been a lone director 3 times.
Huh?
He's been a lone director 3 times.
Yes. And Best Original Screenplay, he was nominated and won for Pulp Fiction. Nominated, but didn't win for Inglourious Basterds. Nominated and won for Django Unchained. And nominated for The Hateful Eight. And nominated once again for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But.
Okay, so the screenplay branch enjoys him a lot.
Yeah, so he's won 2 BAFTAs, but only in screenplay. Nothing else.
Although, I mean, at this point, I don't see...
Which is the same as his Oscar career. But
I was about to say, yeah. Like, literally the exact same in step.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't Pulp Fiction was nominated? What the fuck? Is this
nominated for?
Wasn't it nominated
Picture?
for Best Picture? Yeah.
Wait,
I'm not going crazy, am I?
I don't know. Let me ask me. Are you going crazy?
I'm not going crazy. It was definitely nominated. Oh, okay. Never mind. I see the problem here.
What's the problem?
So Tarantino was not a producer, so he does not have a nomination for Pulp Fiction for Best Picture. But Pulp Fiction might have a nomination for Best Picture.
Well, huh.
That's stupid.
That's interesting.
That's stupid and annoying.
Well, that's what happens when the directors don't produce their films.
Well,
interesting. I'm not saying that's a good thing.
List of accolades received by Pulp Fiction. Yes, Pulp Fiction was nominated for Best Film at the BAFTAs, which
okay,
I'm confused.
Yeah, no, that's interesting more than anything else. So, okay, there is precedent that they love him, but that love probably could translate to probably most likely a screenplay happening, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's pretty set, right? Like, what in original screenplay do you think is going to beat him?
I mean, I don't see Marriage Story doing that. Not at the BAFTAs. Booksmart not happening.
But period. Like at anywhere.
I mean, Parasite is the one that ever has a shot, and that only depends on how much they love Parasite.
I don't even think that is a realistic shot.
At all. You don't think that's a realistic shot at all?
Not for screenplay. I think that it has a shot of winning Best Picture. It has a shot of winning Best Director, but I just don't give it any chance of winning Best Screenplay.
I will disagree with any chance. I think it's number 2, and it's a distant 2. But number I feel like the statistics are there for it to win if they adore Parasite, because I don't know, like literally, if it's winning Best Picture, what is it? Does it get that international film and then director?
Parasite is I think Marriage Story is the number 2 in screenplay. I think that is the only film with a chance of beating
for BAFTA or in general at Oscars.
Period.
At BAFTA, no. Marriage Story it does not have the support. I've heard nothing regarding it.
Again, I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is winning. I'm just saying,
I agree.
I don't think it's the more writery film of the rest of them. And again, I don't know that like I just don't see Parasite doing it. I just don't.
I mean, at the end of the day, Once Upon a Time is probably going to win this. We're having semantics regarding what's number 2, but
we're having semantics that will never be resolved.
No, never be resolved. But at the same time, I'm just thinking that Parasite has the more broader support, because I'm pretty sure.
I guess I get the odds do agree with you. The BAFTA odds do suggest that Parasite is the number 2 in Best Screen,
and that's
screenplay, but
only because I just see because it's gonna probably bring it along with it, and because also the winners aren't determined by the branch. It's literally like everyone gets to vote. So people know what Parasite is, and they're like, oh, let's bring it in. Like, if I think it was just the writers, they might throw in Marriage Story in there too. But because it's the broader spectrum, I think you're going to bring in, because the actors branch loved Parasite. And that's the biggest one. But I don't know how long, I don't know what that's going to translate to, type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is indicative.
Yeah. Okay. I can do that.
But yeah, no, we could totally be wrong, and then Tarantino could come in winning both director and film for BAFTAs, which that would be crazy if that were to happen.
What if he just wins everything?
I wouldn't be too happy with that, but I know you would, so I guess there's some silver lining to this.
I would be quite ecstatic.
You would, and I would let you just host the podcast. Listen, okay, here's the deal. I'm making a bet right now. If Tarantino wins the director and if Tarantino wins either director or best picture, one of those two, Ryan gets to host the podcast for a day. I'm calling that bet now.
For a day,
Ryan, for one episode.
What a prize!
You want to do it for the whole year?
No, no, I don't. I don't have time.
I thought not. It's not a prize if I tell you get to do it for the whole year. It becomes an obligation and a chore. It's a punishment.
I barely have enough time to be a guest.
I know, right?
I'm a host.
So he is. I do think we can't count out Tarantino. I think Phillips is not winning director, and I think Scorsese is winning director. I don't think either of those are winning best film. Right now, it's still a 3-horse race with 17, Parasite, and Hollywood in that order right now.
Sure.
Do you disagree?
No.
Anything you wish to add?
No.
Because we talked about director and film stuff for longer than I anticipated.
We really did.
Oh, wow. Then I'm just going to quickly go through here. We're going to do some quick fire rounds and see how right we are tomorrow. Let's just do at this point, I think the actings are sewn up, right?
Unfortunately. I can't believe that Who's Her Face is going to win Best Actress. I can't.
Zellweger?
Yeah, I just don't even want to say her name. So
she who shall not be named.
She who will not be named.
Okay, then we'll not talk about her. Basically, you have Dern, Pitt, Phoenix, and She Who Will Not Be Named, who are now all winning their respective Oscars. Is there any possible chance BAFTA does not go with all 4?
I mean, there's a chance, but it's not a good one.
No, I don't. I agree. Like,
which of those upsets do you think is most likely to happen?
I can tell you right now, Pitt's not losing.
Yeah.
I don't think Zellweger's losing either, just because. Oh, I'm sorry, I said her name. Is winning either because it's Judy. She's playing Judy Garland, and they love her in England. Have you seen the movie?
That was part of the point of that movie.
Exactly. So right now I think it's Dern and Phoenix, and Dern is just kind of winning everything. But then again, Florence Pugh is British, so.
Wait, what?
Florence Pugh is British. That's the only thing I have that,
Florence Pugh is British. Ergo, she is going to win.
Listen, they love British things at the BAFTAs.
Yeah.
No, and Margot Robbie's
honestly, like that would be a much better pick than Laura Dern for Marriage Story. So, like, no hate. I would be pro the BAFTAs for that move. But
that'd actually be really cool and different, and I would be happy with that. And Margot Robbie could totally win one of those. She's probably gonna split, and
Margot's got no chance.
She's just happy to be nominated twice, which is not something that happens every day.
Yeah,
I'm just happy to be nominated twice,
or at all if you're going with the Win Awards.
Yeah, hey, there you go.
Shade.
And I think so. I think if actor. I think Phoenix is the weakest, mainly because that performance is a lot more divisive than the rest. But then again, I don't know what does Edgerton?
Like, I don't know who wins.
Edgerton, obviously, just to throw shade at the Oscars.
What? Just because it's the most British performance?
Listen, if you just pick that by that definition, 1917's winning film.
Yeah, it is the most British film.
It's literally the most British film because I think it's winning Outstanding British Film unless Rocket Man comes in.
Which is funny because you'd think that LDC and Adam Driver would be like the picks, but then they're just not. They're not. They've gotten no traction.
No, who was the first one besides Driver? You said
LDC.
Aha! Oh, DiCaprio. I was so confused. I was like, yeah. Wait, what? I just nodded along, pretended I knew what I was talking about.
And Jonathan Pryce, happy to be dominated.
Oh no! Listen, the guy came in swinging after missing that SAG, so good for him.
Watch Brad Pitt loses to like Anthony Hopkins.
Listen, I would not be mad because I love that performance, and he gave his best performance in a while.
But Brad Pitt deserves his awards.
Yeah. I deserve. Anthony Hopkins already has an Oscar. Brad Pitt has an Oscar, but not for acting.
Right. He has a producing Oscar.
He does. But still an Oscar. He can literally go around saying, I'm Academy Award winner Brad Pitt if he wanted to.
He can.
Like, literally, no one would stop and be like, that is not right. He'd be like, aha, here's the gold.
Oh, Brad.
Oh, Brad.
Did you know it's illegal to buy an Oscar or sell an Oscar?
But what if it's auctioned off for charity?
But
what if it's someone... What do you do with it then if you don't want it?
You return it to the Academy. It's not your property. You're not permitted to turn it over to somebody else.
Because I found a statistic, not a statistic, but a fun fact is that it happened one night after Clark Gable's death. They auctioned off his, maybe that's changed recently. They auctioned off his, It Happened One Night Oscar for Best Actor.
Yeah. And
I don't know what happened to it. I think Spielberg won it, I believe. He bought it. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I'm pretty sure I read that today because I have no time on Saturdays, which is like literally I don't have time, so I don't know why I did this. I had no time to do anything else. But while he's doing that, basically the BAFTAs, I expect everything to go as expected. Oh, wait, hold up. Parasite's not even nominated for Best Editing at the BAFTAs. So, yeah, Le Mans 66 is totally winning this. Or Ford v Ferrari, I should say.
Okay, so I have the Oscars regulations up.
Pray tell.
And they're under the regulations for copyrights and trademarks. Regulation number 10 says, Academy Award winners have no rights whatsoever in the Academy copyright or goodwill in the Oscar statuette or in its trademark and service mark registrations. Academy Award winners must comply with these rules and regulations. Award winners shall not sell or otherwise dispose of the Oscar statuette, nor permit it to be sold or disposed of by operation of law, without first offering to sell it to the Academy for the sum of $1. This provision shall also apply to the heirs and assigns of the Academy Award winners who may acquire the statuette by gift or bequest. So you can give your Academy Award to somebody, but then they cannot sell it without first offering it to the Academy for the sum of $1.
Okay, so this is what happened apparently. On December 15th, 1996, Gable's Oscar was auctioned off to Steven Spielberg for $607,000.
Mm-hmm.
Spielberg promptly donated the statuette to the Motion Picture Academy. So,
the thing is, I don't know when this regulation came into place, but the Academy
it happened. It's like,
but the Academy definitively has a right of first refusal on all Academy Awards.
Okay, they might have done this right after this happened. They're like, we should probably do something about this.
But if you're like really good buds with an Academy Award member, they can gift it to you.
They're on their deathbed and they're like, take my Oscar.
Well, I mean, their kids probably like, you know.
Oh yeah, that'd be a great hey, my dad won an Oscar. Great conversation starter.
You know,
just casual conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting way too distracted. All right. So we both agree. Screenplay, Tarantino.
Yeah.
Both agree. All right. Yep. Screenplay. Now, adapted screenplay is going to be real interesting because I don't think Irishman's winning this, is it?
No.
Because Little Women won the USC Scripter, which
the best adapted screenplay odds currently are pretty split. It's pretty close between Little Women and Jojo Rabbit, according to Gold Derby.
Okay, I can see that.
So, with the Irishman, like not too far behind.
I think this would be a good spot to give it to Little Women, considering Greta got snubbed for director.
Yeah, I think that would be a good win. I think Jojo Rabbit probably like it's the more writery movie. It
is.
But Little Women winning would be nice.
That would be nice.
It's an awards movie.
It is, but it's a good awards movie.
It is. It's a very good awards movie.
Outstanding British film, 1917. We don't need to go through anything else at this point.
Yeah.
Unless Rocket Man comes in just because they love Elton John.
Rocket Man.
Which actually be a pretty cool win. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's the best of the year, but you know what? Just to have something different. Cinematography, give it to Deakins. That's the Oscar you need to engrave.
Yeah.
All right, editing. This is Ford v Ferrari. That's. I don't see how it's unless Jojo Rabbit takes it because it won the Ace Eddie for comedy.
Yeah, I still think that it's Ford.
No, yeah, it is. It is because Rush won this, and that wasn't even nominated for the Oscars. So, fun fact: best costume design. Now, this is probably what Hollywood.
Actually, I'm not totally sure.
This would be interesting.
Costume design. Where is costume design on this list? Jesus Christ. Costume design. Currently, the prohibitive favorite is Little Women. Followed relatively closely by Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But
okay. I wouldn't be opposed to that one either.
No.
I like that one.
That would be fun.
All right. So production design. Now, is this Hollywood?
Production design is...
I'm pretty sure the odds are for Hollywood for this one.
Yes, I'm pretty sure that they are too.
Because your other nominations are 1917, which is actually some pretty great production design.
Yes, Hollywood is the favorite, followed by 1917, but not.
Okay.
It's not a huge gap.
I mean, the Hollywood production is for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is pretty great, so I will not be opposed to that one at all.
Yeah, the other three are just happy to be there.
I know. Yeah, you know what? It's okay. It's good for them. Makeup and hair, Bombshell. It has to be Bombshell, right?
Yes, because they like that particular move.
They like it when they change an actor's face.
Yes. Yes, Bombshell is the favorite. Rocket Man is the second place in terms of the odds.
Which they did a great job as well too of changing Edgerton. I always have to pause before I say his name because I'm going to say Egerton if I don't. So Taron Egerton, the way they changed his face as well is also very really good. Elton John.
Yeah,
and
it was very not noticeable. So
it was very, very, very subtle, but also like you could see the little gap in his tooth, which is very like, oh hey, that's very different, and I think that was really subtle. And they do a nice job of that. Score. This is going to be fun. This is like Little Women, right? Or Joker, I should say. Not Little Women, Joker. I looked at Little Women, and I meant to say Joker.
I think it should be Little Women, but yes, it is.
It should be, but let's talk about that. That score is great. Like it is bubbly and light, but at the same time, it has some weight to it thematically. It's one of Alexander Desplat's best scores in a while, and he's done some great scores. Yeah, but let me tell you,
the odds for the BAFTAs go Joker, 1917, and then the rest.
I thought so.
And nobody is giving Jojo Rabbit the time of day.
I don't even remember. It's going to sound real bad. I don't even remember the Jojo Rabbit score. Only thing that pops into my hand is the German version of I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Yeah. No, I mean, but that's true of like all of these movies. I remember liking the score to Little Women, but I couldn't hum a single note of it.
I'm going to go send you some score just because it's so fantastic. All right, sound. Now this is this is a toss up between 17 and 17 and Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah,
but I think this would tell us of what's winning the Oscars as well.
Well, I hope not, because at least according to the odds on Gold Derby, 1917 is the like absolute favorite to win this award.
Cool.
By like a large margin.
Oh my!
And I kind of think that like Ford v Ferrari is better sound design.
And sound design, I agree.
So
this isn't cinematography. This is sound.
Yeah. So it's kind of weird how big of a gap there is there.
I concur. And best special visual effects. That's a mouthful. Okay, I have no idea. What's the favorite on this one?
Visual effects. The favorite is Avengers Endgame.
I mean, I guess it is until it isn't.
Like, I think The Lion King probably should be the favorite because, like, let's be honest, the visual effects in that movie are phenomenal, even if the rest of the movie leaves something to be desired. But
listen, the only reason Endgame's getting this probably is because we want to give him something, the Avengers something.
I mean, who doesn't?
I mean, it's not getting anything else. I can tell you that. Literally, it's not nominated for anything else, so it can't get anything else. And then, best film not in the English language. Say it with me, Ryan. 1, 2, 3. Parasite. There we go. Yes. Yeah, that's no contest. And then best documentary. Now this will be interesting because Apollo 11 is not nominated at the Oscars, but it is nominated here.
Yeah.
The only things that are there is American Factory and For Sama.
Yeah. I think that Apollo, I mean, like, the odds makers seem to think it's a close race between For Sama and American Factory.
Makes sense.
Which, I haven't seen For Sama, so I guess I can't make a judgment on that one yet. But, like, American Factory is kind of like, the more I sit around and think about it, I was like, that movie's like really not that good. It's okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That movie's in my top 10 from last year. Spoiler alert. So that's really interesting.
Oh wait, do you include documentaries in your top 10 movies?
I do, just from features of the year. Just from.
Okay. I only deal with narrative films.
Oh well, that again, that's your list though. Don't feel free to like change it because I did.
Well, I feel like we have to have consistent rules.
We can establish those rules later.
We can do that off mic.
Do that off mic. So at this point, I do think it's Factory or Fusama.
That is what.
Because what was last year? Because last year Free Solo won this award as well, right? It wasn't Neighborhood. This kind of sets a precedent for me if we're gonna go for Apollo 11 or not.
BAFTA Award for Best Documentary went.
I'm gonna click on it myself, and I feel bad for making you do it when
it went to Free Solo.
Well, okay, there you go. Now we know. And then animated film. Frozen 2. Klaus. A Shaun the Sheep movie, Farmageddon, and Toy Story 4. Now this could be interesting.
Because this is like the least certain animated race that we've had in many years.
I know. Like, I guess Toy Story 4 won PGA and DGA, but Klaus won the Annies, which... Again, they don't all. Disney and Pixar don't always win. There is some stiff competition for the Annies, but the fact that Klaus won over anything else, I find to be interesting.
Yeah.
So
the odds makers think it's going to be Toy Story 4.
Obviously, yes. But what if Klaus won? Like, just to...
I don't know. What if Farmageddon won?
That would be... You know what? I would love it would literally be an Armageddon for the animated branch, because it's like, what's winning? I don't know.
Yeah, but no, I think that Toy Story 4 is going to win, probably.
It's going to just default.
Yeah, well, I just think there are too many Pixar people in the Academy's branch of the Academy's animated branch that I just don't think that. Like, I think that because it's had such a long period of success, that it's just going to be too hard to overcome.
Mm-hmm. And then we're skipping the short films because we haven't seen them.
We haven't seen these.
And Best Casting, the cool award that they just announced for BAFTA, first year doing it. Joker, Marriage Story, Hollywood, The Personal History of David Copperfield, and The Two Popes.
The odds makers think that this is Hollywood.
I thought you were about to say the odds makers think this is The Personal History of David Copperfield.
I literally hadn't heard of this movie until I saw this nomination. I was like, okay.
Funnily enough, I only knew this movie existed from, like, you know how YouTube like recommends sometimes trailers if you watch enough? This is one of those recommended trailers. And I was like, what is this?
Don't watch trailers, so like outside of the movie theater. So
at all, okay.
Yep.
Oh.
I have to be like particularly motivated to watch a trailer.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I'm learning something. I'm learning more things today. But yeah, Hollywood seems like an appropriate choice. But I would not be opposed if Marriage Story took this. That'd be a good get. But yeah, I don't know enough about the casting department to make that decision, or the best casting BAFTA.
Yeah, which I feel like this is kind of an unfair award in this case, because there's just everybody wanted to be in Hollywood, and that's why there's like even the side characters are famous people.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
Even the like random, like I'm in like 30 seconds of this movie, characters are still famous people, and you're like, okay, well, you really didn't need a famous person for this, but okay, cool.
Too late.
Guess y'all wanted to be in this movie.
I mean, when you were working with someone like Quentin Tarantino, that's saying something. It's like, hey guys, I worked with Quentin Tarantino in this 10 seconds that I walked on.
Yeah, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had such an allure around it. I remember when like they were doing the production, like it had something special.
Mm-hmm. I mean, other than the fact that it was by Tarantino.
Yeah,
that's a big thing right there.
But like he had all the studios vying over his script to see who would get it.
Oh, it's like, oh, you want to work with me?
And then he had this weird lockdown procedure where you had to go to Sony to read the script. You couldn't take it home and study. You could only go there. Because
why not? Because there's,
because Tarantino was so pissed off about The Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah, that did happen. I forgot about that.
He made it impossible to be an actor in his movies.
Oh boy. Didn't Bruce Dern leak it by accident?
I don't know. I don't know who it was.
I thought it was or something. They mentioned that, and then they got all mad, and people were like, "Oh, they're not going to have him in his movie." But no, he was still in the movie, so I don't know how much credence that was. But
yeah, I thought it was part of the hack. I thought that's what it was, but
might have been.
Anyways,
but that's all. You know what? I'm interested to see how that shapes up for BAFTA. What that's going to mean for the Oscars race, because WGA also happens. So, and I think since Tarantino's not there, we get to find out what's number 2. And we're going to find out what's number 2, Ryan.
Yeah, we will.
So what? Do we think it's Parasite or Marriage Story?
I think the WGA gives it to Marriage Story, but like, I don't know.
That makes sense. That actually, no, that would make sense. If it's going to win there, I think that is where... hold on. Wait.
Make that race look a little spicier.
Hold on. Wait a minute. It literally just happened. The WGA just happened. I thought it was tomorrow. It just happened. Breaking news, guys.
Oh.
Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to read it?
I want you to tell me. Question?
All right. Adapted screenplay. Jojo Rabbit.
Cool. I dig it.
The writery movie. That's cool. Little Women was also nominated, did not win.
Oh.
So we're gonna see how that. I think that's gonna be an interesting race to see how that shapes up. BAFTA will be telling. But original screenplay went to Parasite.
Well, I was wrong. I was distinctly wrong. Okay. Touché.
I love how it's like, well, I was wrong.
Manning was right. This is, this is how it goes. Sometimes we're not right about everything.
Listen, dude, I have been wrong plenty of times. But no, yeah, Parasite. No, I'm actually shocked because I was agreeing with you like 10 seconds before I found out about this. So now I was wrong. I literally just said, "Yo, you're right. The Marriage Story sounds like something they do," but nope.
I mean, it does, but apparently not.
No, I think that's indicative of what I do. I think Hollywood's winning it, but I think this shows Parasite has strength within the other branches more than anything else.
Yeah.
Well, what else is won so far? Let's see. It's updating as we speak. So some of these have not been finished yet. Cool. So I don't know what the rest are at the moment. They're updating live. Wow, canon. I don't know what else. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about now. I think we've hit. Oh, before we go, 2020 Oscar presenters, guys, they were officially announced.
They
were, including some performances. So let's go through that list. Because Ryan, you don't know what the list is either. Neither do I.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it, so I'm pulling it up as we speak.
We're about to be surprised because, guys, today they include Keanu Reeves, Sigourney Weaver, Shia LaBeouf, the actual cannibal, Will Ferrell.
Wait, what?
Julia Louise. Have you not seen that YouTube video?
No.
I'm going to send it to you now. For those watching, y'all remember that YouTube video like 5 years ago that he appeared in? It's called The Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf. It's a musical. It's fantastic. It's hilarious.
Okay.
And he played in with the joke. It's beautiful. It makes no sense, just like Shia himself. I will link it in the description for those who don't know what it is. Shia LaBeouf, Will Ferrell, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Steve Martin, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Gal Gadot, Penelope Cruz, and Kristen Wiig. Other presenters include 1917 star George McKay, Booksmart sensation Beanie Feldstein, James Corden, the Peanut Butter Falcon star Zach Gottsagen, my bad, Oscar royalty Diane Keaton, Maya Rudolph, Mahershala Ali, Zazie Beetz, Timothy Chalamet, Olivia Colman, Rami Malek, Kelly Marie Tran, Mark Ruffalo, Anthony Ramos, Mindy Kaling, and Regina King. The ceremony will also feature performances from the Oscar-nominated Elton John, Idina Menzel, Cynthia Erivo, Questlove, Chrissy Metz, and Randy Newman. So that's your typical Oscar. Oh, and of course, announced literally yesterday, I believe.
A couple
Billy,
days ago.
the couple days ago, Grammy winner for song and record of the year, Billie Eilish,
Teen
will
sensation.
Teen sensation. Who wrote
Yeah.
that? Who wrote that? Teen sensation. What is the 2000s? It's not incorrect, but
These kids and their rap music.
these kids and their musics and pop beats. She will also be singing, which Ryan and I agree this could be her "No Time to Die" Bond song, since she was recently announced as the singer for that song.
Yep. I mean, it comes out in April, so it's not like it would be that far away. Which, first of all, that seems like way earlier than I would have ever thought.
Incredibly. Because I feel like we literally just heard about it a month ago. Like, I saw a trailer.
Yeah.
And now it's coming out.
And I don't know how young our audience is here at Gone with the Wind.
I think it's a mix.
But I do just want to point out that the fact that Billie Eilish was born after 9/11 makes me feel really old. I just want to make that statement right now.
Wait. Oh, okay.
She was born December 18th, 2001, which...
Hey, December baby over there. Represent. Also December. Oh.
So, there's that.
Well, there you go. Had to do some math in my head for a second, but wow, you're right. Jeez Louise.
The ripe young age of 18.
I was about to say that, and she look how far she's gotten when she's only been 18. Grammy and singing she's gotten multiple Grammys, number one hit song, and she's about to sing in the new Bond movie.
And hey, if her Bond song is good, maybe she'll be up for the Oscars next year. Maybe
she'll be singing it. She'll be singing it again. Wouldn't that be kind of ironic?
Which would be kind of weird because all of her songs sort of sound the same. So I don't really know what this is going to be like. But
she has two speeds for her songs.
She's not untalented.
Oh,
but I don't know how good she is. That's
you know what'll tell
a second
album.
With.
A second album to see if she can differentiate herself from the first one. We are about to quickly say this. I love Billie Eilish. I think she is a breath of fresh air, at least in the way she carries herself in a lot of what we see now. And I enjoy a lot of her songs. She's a great voice. I don't think she deserved all those Grammys. Please don't kill me in the comments. But I can see the merit. So I like her. Will she be a good fit for the Bond movie? I have no idea. But if they can bring Sam Smith on, they can bring Billie Eilish.
Yep.
They want to bring the biggest names.
I mean, like Adele. We've had a string. Actually, who did the Quantum of Solace song?
Oh, jeez, you could not tell me. I mean, sorry, I could not tell. I could not tell you is what I mean. You could not tell me, Ryan. I'm betting it now.
I'm finding out because I'm just curious. We've had a string of famous people do. Jack White and Alicia Keys.
Well, I think that's less indicative of the song and more indicative of how that movie has kind of came and went.
Yep. And I mean, Chris Cornell did. Why can't I think of the name? Casino Royale. That's the one.
That's it. That's the one.
Yeah. Another Way to Die. These songs really don't sound that pleasant, but okay.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. But yeah, any thoughts you have on the presenters? Anyone that's kind of you're looking forward to seeing?
No. I mean, I don't especially care. I feel strongly about the actors presenting to the other actors thing, and the director presenting the directors. But otherwise, I don't know. It's just an excuse to parade stars out in front of people. So
it literally is.
I don't feel super strongly about it.
No. I always hope they are able to, get some sort of actors there with some sort of charisma to be able to carry that, since we have no host.
Yeah. Well, and the Billie Eilish performance, when I first heard about that, it struck me as kind of a weird choice for the Oscars.
Yeah.
I understand that she's probably going to be performing a film song, but they keep talking about they want to remove performances from the show.
Yeah.
And it's like you're just putting in a different performance because this person is popular. Which
if she just there to perform bad guy. Like and they just play the Bombshell trailer in the background.
I'm the bad guy.
And like that, we are going to sign off because we have run out. Like literally, we just managed to ramble on for about an hour 20. I didn't expect that at all, honestly.
This was a much longer episode than this was ever intended to be. But
no, we just kind of just talked.
It was a nice chat.
It was. You just kind of got a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? Casual conversation with Ryan and Manning. It's our new podcast title.
A fireside chat.
a fireside chat with Ryan McKenna and Manning Franks. It will be. It's all the fun makings of two guys who have nothing to talk about, but also everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so
we got the WGA. We did get that partway through the show.
I know, right? I didn't expect that at all. So, yeah. Do we? Okay, I guess the final question we have before we end the episode. Do we think those WGA ones are going to translate? Or do we think that,
No.
Nope.
No.
No. Not at all.
I think JoJo has a chance, but I do not think that Parasite is going to beat Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just don't see it happen.
I don't think so either. Not yet, anyway. I need to see. Watch Parasite beat Hollywood or BAFTAs tomorrow. And Ryan, me being super excited and Ryan being super bummed. So,
I mean, I like Parasite. Don't get me wrong; it's one of my favorite movies of the year. But like, it's not Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I know. I understand. We will console you if it does happen.
Yeah,
we'll have a group therapy session.
Yeah,
and
then I'll need it somewhere.
I do agree. I think Hollywood's got this, but I think adapted screenplay got a lot more interesting. Instead of like one singular thing taking it away. Because right now I can literally see Little Women, JoJo, or even Irishman in an off chance taking it.
Yeah.
So, because that could be the only win each of those movies are going to get. So they're going to be fighting for that. To stay relevant. All right. So Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me anywhere you want to find people at Armacounty 19, or you can find me in my office because that's where I live now.
How is it?
It's nice.
Oh,
it's pretty chill.
Are you by yourself at the office?
Somebody must be here because the lights are on. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope someone's there because otherwise,
I didn't turn them on. So somebody
power
better be
bill.
Here.
And or power bill problems or ghosts. Which one would you rather have?
I'd rather have ghosts.
Okay. I'd rather have ghost. Yeah, honestly, yeah. And then you can find me at Twitter at Cine_man. That's CINE_MANN. As well as, guess what, guys? Our Gone with the Wind awards have officially I guess not our nomination process, but the actual voting of the nominations can now commence. I will drop the link in the description. And thank you guys also for getting lost in the woods in there. That made me very happy.
We actually did get a big burst on day one here, so that's exciting.
I know. So that was just the first day, and then we still have like another week to go. Again, I apologize. I should have been I should have said, okay, gotten the ball rolling a lot sooner. We've all been swamped with work because this is not our jobs. This is something we do for funsies.
Totally.
So again, please vote. Link will be in the description, and I will keep touting this throughout the week. And again, we will announce the winners. I'm not sure if we'll do it before or after the Oscars. I'm gonna play it by ear. We'll see. I'll see how many responses we begin to get, and I feel like there's more people coming in. I don't want to cut those people off because so far, you said we've had a good stream of responses so far.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
We have almost the same number of responses right now as we did nominating ballots in total.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow. Let everyone know that's a good number for day one. All I'm gonna say.
So that's a good start, guys.
Wow. I'm happy. That's great. Thank you guys for watching this episode or listening. Honestly, I don't know what I'm gonna title this, but I'm gonna title it something.